Hi guys, welcome to day 10 of your 15-day yoga challenge. We're here with yin yoga. So yin yoga is a very introspective, meditative practice of learning the art of slowing down and really connecting to stillness. So a few things I'd like to run through before we start, especially if you've never done yin yoga before. So yin yoga is that very introspective practice to take the time to slow down. We hold poses for a lot longer than we normally would, and we take the time to approach with kindness. So if we think of a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being where we can fall asleep, it's super comfy, we feel very relaxed there. 10 being where we feel like our body's going to snap, we can't breathe, it feels very uncomfortable, we don't want to go anywhere near there. We're going to aim for about a 4. And with that in mind is finding our edge, a space where we feel safe enough to surrender and let go, a safe space where we feel also there's work being done. And that takes practice as well to figure out what that is for our body, especially if we're not used to being still. And it is as much as a physical challenge that it is a mindful challenge, being able to stay present and stay within the practice mindfully. And as well as that, as we arrive and find our edge, we resolve to be still with the idea that our whole body is connected, and that once we start fidgeting or tensing with one part of our body, that is connected to our entire body. That our intention isn't that stillness and surrendering. If we're tensing and fidgeting with, say, the hand, and we're focusing on the hips, then we're arriving still with maybe that movement. And when we resolve to be still, we hold. And now that we're all familiar with the principles of yin yoga, we'll go ahead and just get set up. So do pop extra layers on. It gets quite cold in yin yoga. If you think about yang being fiery, strong practices, yin is that cooler, more calm, more meditative, slower practice. So definitely recommend putting some warm socks on, get blankets, pillows to get comfy and cozy and warm, but also to use as props. So I've got some blocks here to use as props, and that helps us find our edge. So feel free to pause this and go grab some pillows and blocks. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and we'll start seated. And as we arrive seated, just starting to find a comfortable seat position. Feel free to pop a pillow or cushion underneath your hips to elevate the hips a little higher than the knees. Just maybe taking any discomfort in those hip flexors. Feel free to close down the eyes as we just take a moment to arrive with that yin perspective. So just take the time to settle in here with that slower, more mindful, introspective, meditative approach. Setting the intention to be kind to our body, guided with our breath. So take your time as we arrive. And we'll just start to make our way into our first pose. From here, we're going to bring ourselves into shoelace or half shoelace, depending on what feels best for you. So I'll just demonstrate half shoelace first. So the legs are going to come out. I'm going to take our right leg over and across. So the knee stacks on top of the knee. The other leg is nice and straight and relaxed. I'll show you from this direction. Knee stacks on top of the knee, leg nice and relaxed. If you'd like to come into the full shoelace, that's going to be leg is bent, both legs are bent, and again right knee stacks on top, and again if you can, knee stacks on top of knee as much as you can. It feels comfortable to you, find your edge. It's quite an intensive one in the hips there, so listen to what feels best for your body. It's okay if it comes up a little higher, but any higher than that, then you're missing that target area, so maybe then just straightening the leg out. Nice, so once you've settled there, I'm just going to return back to this position. Feel free to stay upright. Don't think about being too upright, you want to soften through the body. Remember that intention that our whole body's connected, so we want to surrender with our entire being here. You might tuck the chin in, you might Allow your head to roll forward. You might start to walk your hands towards the feet, but we're not reaching, we're not pulling, we're not trying to force our way. We're just allowing ourselves to surrender into that pose. So find your edge and resolve to be still. As we hold, as we breathe, as we settle in. Nice, and no rush, taking your 3 final breaths here. Really surrendering in that half shoelace pose or shoelace pose. And whenever you're ready to, gently start to peel your way out of that position. Feel free to bring the hands behind you, bring the feet out mat width, gently just rock side to side. Or if you'd like a bit of stillness, maybe you just sit with the legs extended out. Nice, and then from there, we're going to then take the other side. So taking hold of the left leg, again, just bringing it over and across, coming into the other side. Knee starts on top of knee. Either in half shoelace, making sure that extended leg is nice and relaxed. And again, you can also bend the legs so you're coming into full shoelace. Find where it's for you and left leg is on top. And again, as you settle in, resolve to be still as we hold, as we breathe. Maybe just noticing how this side may feel different to the other. Not forcing your way through. You might be upright. You might fold forward slightly. Allow the head to hang heavy. You might even walk the hands a little further forward. But don't force it. Find where your edge is. A space where you feel safe enough to be in. A space where you feel there is gentle work that can be done. At any point of pain, do come out of that pose or ease off. Usually an indication of when we've gone too far is that we can't breathe, that our body is fighting itself, or there's that really strong resistance. So find a space where you can safely surrender. And once we arrive, we resolve to be still as we hold, as we breathe. 3 final breaths here, and feel free to really make them as vocal, as loud as you like, to really release and surrender anything that doesn't serve you anymore. Nice, and when you're ready to again, feel free to gently release out of that pose. Give the legs a good shake, maybe sway the knees side to side, maybe you stay still, seated, legs extended out. Find a space of rebound where you can be sensitive to listen, to hear what's going on in your body. Nice, and then from there, we want to make our way to lie down on our backs. We're going to come into reclined butterfly. So reclined butterfly, the soles of the feet together, the knees out to the side. If your hips are feeling quite tender, feel free to place blocks underneath your thighs, so just using it as a support. We're going to lie down as we come into reclined butterfly. Feel free to pop a pillow underneath your head. Feel free to even pop a blanket on top of you here. Entirely up to you. So the blocks will just wedge underneath the thighs. And just take a moment here to settle in, find what feels good for you. So if again you feel that resistance in the hips, pop a pillow, block or something underneath your thighs to support you. Make sure you've got 2 if you need that support. Hands on belly, hands out to side, palms face up, or maybe elbows bend, taking those arms up over the head. Hands can touch, but they also don't have to. So you get comfortable there, get settled in. As we hold and as we breathe, to surrender, to soften. The intention to practice with kindness, and the intention to practice finding that sense of stillness within our pose. As we still the body, we allow our mind to follow. As we arrive, guided by the breath, you might inhale, notice, where in my body am I holding tension? Where in my body can I surrender to, let go? Taking that time to really release pockets and areas of tension that your body is holding on to here. Softening with each breath out. Releasing of physical tension, maybe releasing of deep-rooted tension held in the hips that may manifest as emotional tension, emotional energy. Each time we breathe out, we let go of what no longer serves us. As we breathe, as we resolve to be still, and as we hold. Taking your 3 final breaths here. time to gently just unravel out of that pose. Collect those arms in, extend those legs out as we come into our final pose, corpse pose, Shavasana. Legs extended out, mat width apart, toes fall out to the side. Hands on belly, hands out to side, and take a moment of rebound here. Our final rebound to come into final relaxation. A space where we come into neutral to really receive the benefits of our practice. Even with such a short practice, you've given your body abundance, space, stillness, a sense of relaxation. As you let go of legs and hips and torso, head and face, just indulging in this space and how this may feel different from when we arrived. Noticing anything new. And feel free to stay here if you feel that you have got more time to just indulge in this space. If you're ready to come out of this pose, gently just wiggle fingers and toes and collect the knees in. Gently rock side to side to roll over to the left side. Using the left arm as a pillow. And gently use your hands to guide yourself up to seated. A comfortable seat position with the hands at the center of the chest. Just take a moment to arrive back. Namaste. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this more slower, indulgent practice. Something a little different maybe for those that have never tried yin yoga. Maybe a little more than 15 minutes. As you can see, time gets a little lost in yin yoga. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.